Chair, we will be coming before you to tell you that MERU is in crisis. And this crisis, if led to fester on, especially under a thinking of appeasement, a thinking of it's too early, a thinking of gender, we do not know whether MERU might turn out also to be another unmitigated disaster, especially Chair. When you're told the governor is not only fighting every passing day other elected leaders both at the national and county level, but she has also roped in the church. She is also at war with the church. Why is this a potential for an unmitigated disaster, Chair? We know what religious incitement did in Sudan, now split into Sudan and South Sudan. We know what religious differences have done between India and Pakistan in a place called Kashmir. We know in the UK, our colonial masters, what religious differences and incitements between Catholics and Protestants in Northern Ireland has caused for the last countless decades. We know, or should know, what religious incitement is currently doing in the Central African Republic. We know, Chair, or should know, something called the Biafra War in Nigeria, between the North and the South, basically along religious lines. And Chair, what we have come before you is to tell you we are at the siege. MERU County is at the siege. We have come to you as the custodians of the devolved government to tell us, yes, this governor was elected by the people. She was elected democratically. But in this case, just like the country in Europe I began with, democracy has produced unintended consequences. And because democracy has produced consequences not intended, we must look at the solution the wise drafters of our Constitution put in place to deal with those consequences before they become an unmitigated disaster, and that solution is in Article 181 of our Constitution, as read with Section 33 of the County Governments Act, as read with the Standing Order number 65 of the Standing Orders of the County Assembly of MERU, as read with the Standing Orders of the Senate, and the schedule that sets the rules. We beseech you, Chair, please don't let MERU become an unmitigated disaster. In the Christian Bible, Chair, there was a guy who was in a boat, and a storm came, and the people navigating that boat had to make a hard choice. Do we let everyone in the boat perish? Or do we sacrifice one person who is the cause of the storm? Do we let MERU County, with a population of 1.5 million people, go to the dogs? Or do we jettison the one citizen of MERU, much as it may pain us, much as we may be reluctant to do it, but at the end of the day, we urge you to do it because it is the right thing to do, it is the fair thing to do, and it is the only pragmatic solution to the problem in MERU. Thank you very much, Chair. Unless there is a question for me, I beg to take my seat.
Thank you very much. Senators, I don't know whether you intend to comment anything on the statement. I don't think so. Just let it hang. Yes, Senator Fonarobi.
Chair, the Council for the Assembly has taken us through the explanation of whether an impeachment is counter-democratic. I would want him to also address the question of whether a discharge of the governor from all the accusations that have been made here, if they are disproved, or whether if the threshold is not met, if that would also be counter-democratic in his view.
Yes, Council, you asked for it. You know, ordinarily we don't want to field questions now, but you asked for it.
Chair, the answer is simple. The Senate is within its right, after hearing the evidence, to either confirm or dismiss the case. Therefore, there will be nothing counter-democratic in the Senate discharging its power one way or the other, because we didn't come here having assumed we must win our case. It must be taken that the person reposed or the ultimate power is the Senate, and the Constitution has empowered Senate to make that decision. Therefore, there is nothing counter-democratic to it. The only disclaimer is that even as I make that, is the question I asked. It cannot surely be that all these people at the national and county levels of government and in the church are the problem, and the governor is a saint. It must count for something.
Perhaps, Chair,
members, I don't want to open it, but
just one clarification, Chair, because I might have put it wrongly. Whether he equates a discharge of the governor to the policy of appeasement that he has taken us through the leadership of Europe and America during the First World War, whether he equates it, a discharge of the governor, to a policy of appeasement by the Senate.
Council, just hold, take all three, and then you respond. Yes, please.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the learned friend has said democracy has produced unintended consequences. It's, Chair, I can imagine, the country has just gone through a